Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for signing up for the workshop Rituals for Decolonization. And I myself am Fazashir Mohammed. I will be facilitating the workshop. But before we meet, I want to invite you to prepare a few things, which are actually three things. The first one is to think about this question what decolonization means to you personally. And you can write it down, but you don't have to. It's really just a question that I want to use as an intention for this workshop. So we will contemplate also together about it, but already for you to think a little bit about this. And the second one is a short writing ritual to your ancestors of about 5 minutes max of writing in a safer space which you have created for yourself, silent, where you won't be disturbed, and do whatever you need to create that safer space for yourself. And as you will be writing to your ancestors, I want to invite you to expand your notion of ancestry. A few things might help you with that. To think about a biological ancestor, so an ancestor in your bloodline, or a non biological ancestor. Maybe because, for example, you identify as queer and you feel like you want to honor or connect with particular queer ancestors, maybe not necessarily in your bloodline. So you have the space for that. Also, think about knowing your ancestors, like a name or their personal histories, in relation to not knowing the name and or the personal history of those ancestors. Both could be for so many reasons. They might have been erased from history. Um, and another element is to think about your having a natural desire to connect maybe with some ancestors. Maybe they've been already present with you. Maybe you already have ritual practices in which you honor or connect with those ancestors. But there are also our ancestors you might not have a desire to connect with. Um, Maybe because they have inflicted violence upon others in your lineage, or particular forms of violence that has affected larger groups of people in the society. And in this writing ritual, you also have the space to address why you would not want to connect with a particular ancestor. Maybe that will transform into you actually speaking or connecting to the ancestor, but maybe it also is a space to very clearly define for yourself what ancestors you do not want to enter into your life, or do not want to be guided by in your life. So expand this notion of ancestry in whatever direction you feel like. And this could help you also to really formulate at the beginning of your writing to which ancestor you're writing. Often, for example, myself, I write to ancestors who we have lost on the seas. They don't have names, don't know their names. I also don't know their bloodlines. I also do not instantly connect with them, but I have to really invite myself to also, yeah, connect with those who we really have lost, where lineages have been broken. So think about how you address them at the beginning of your writing ritual. Then there are three elements which could help you to write to them, like what you write to them. The first one is an emotion or a feeling that you want to express, an emotion or feeling that is very present with you in this very moment that you're going to write. Or maybe it's an emotion or a feeling that has been sitting with you for a longer period of time. Another element is a question or a request that you have for your ancestors. And maybe this has to do again with the presence, something in the past, something in the future, but maybe even you want to completely break with this linear notion of time and maybe have other conceptions of time that are present in your writing as well. And Another element is a sacrifice or a promise which you would like to make to your ancestors, which could be of material value. Maybe you want to give up on some particular object or food or whatever it is, material. Um, or maybe it is something non-material, which is more of an habit or um, yeah, and feeling maybe that has even been with you for a longer period of time that you feel like you want to let go of. In any case, this writing ritual is, I call this an act of materialization. During the workshop, you will be invited for an act of dematerialization, which also means that everything we write does not mean that we fix it into time or space, but that we will allow it to transform in during the moment of writing, but also afterwards. And in that moment, we will have the space to burn the paper. And also, maybe that means that the promises that you've made, the sacrifices that you felt like giving when you were writing it, might not be there anymore once you burn the paper. You have that space. This is not a dogmatic practice. This is a space where the transformation is really the essence of the work. A last element, the third um, invitation, homework, um, is to think about a material that invites your senses, right? Any kind of conception that you have of the senses um, into a ritual. So that could be something that you could burn, something that you could spray, something that you can put on your body, something that you might feel like wrapping around your body. And also think about a material in the most simple way. Um, it should take shape within in a ritual of about 2 minutes. And some elements that could help you to select the material is, well, thinking about time, of course, so it's short. The material itself should be relatively easy to be collected. Um, Also think about a material that you could distribute in the space, or that could be distributed amongst the several people in the workshop. And I know that we will probably be with a group of around 15 people. Yeah, and maybe the material is it, for example, a rose? Do you want to bring only the rose petals? Do you want to bring the whole rose? Think about these things a little bit. And yeah, so of course this amount. Maybe you also feel like you want to bring something to the space that you're not going to share with others, which is also totally fine. During the workshop, we will really explore these acts of giving and receiving, when to give, when not to give, when to receive, when not to receive. So whatever you think of, also allow yourself for that to be transformed as we will come together. So these are the three homework assignments or invitations to prepare, to think about this question: what does decolonization mean to you personally? To write to your ancestors in a short ritual of 5 minutes. You can do this once, you can also do this several times. Also, please collect the paper and bring it with you to the workshop. And the third one is a material that would invite the senses and that we can bring into the space, and for which we can set a particular intention. Maybe an intention that is very much connected to this very first question: what does decolonization mean to you? Okay, thank you. I hope it was clear. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And these instructions are also already sent to you by mail, written down. So maybe, yeah, whatever you prefer, you listen to this video again, or you read it on the paper. Looking forward to meet all of you.